Acute blood loss, whenever it happens, what is the immediate body's response? Typically, hypovolemia will decrease preload to the heart, and hence there is a decreased central venous pressure and also decreased cardiac output. Elevated potassium will lead to increase in the resting transmembrane potential to a less negative value, and that is the reason the repolarization typically become more prolonged whenever there is development of hyperkalemia. Now, what is the main reason that our carotid and aortic chemoreceptors become strongly stimulated? It is the decrease in the pulmonary diffusing capacity which is the underlying cause. How many of you answered it as carbon monoxide poisoning? Nobody? You all answered it as decrease in pulmonary diffusing capacity, or any other answers? I'm just curious to know. Typically, the very common tempting answer is carbon monoxide poisoning. But remember, if there is a carbon monoxide poisoning, what will be the oxygen saturation levels? Whenever there is anemia or carbon monoxide poisoning, it will only cause less oxygen binding to the hemoglobin, but it won't alter the PaO2. Unless PaO2 is altered, your aortic and carotid chemoreceptors won't get stimulated. So that is what you have to ultimately remember. That's good. Now, ECF, ICF, how do you evaluate? We use deuterium oxide and tritiated water for assessment of total body water. Inulin mannitol sulfate for ECF, and Evans blue is the one which we use for measurement of plasma. Those initial pages of the Ganome's physiology. Now, doctor, nephron physiology is one favorite topic of the examiner. Once more, you need to go back and check where was the loop of Henle, where is the ascending, which is descending, which is diluting segment, which is concentrating segment. How is H plus ion secreted by the collecting tubules? Why proximal convoluted tubule is called the workhorse, where maximum reabsorption occur. All these basics you have to iron out, because nephron physiology is going to have a strong impact. Once more, I want to reinforce to you, we already have discussed all the renal physiology thoroughly in our video lectures available. Take an opportunity to review. Now, doctor, if you compare medulla versus cortex, what is the difference? Most of the renal blood flow goes to the cortex, whereas medulla has got a very scanty blood flow. And where are the tubules located? Renal tubules in the medulla. Hence, tubules are highly vulnerable to develop acute tubular necrosis whenever the person suffers from hypovolemic shock. When the blood flow to the kidney decreases, the person who suffers the most is the medulla more than cortex, is what I want to underscore to all of you. Now, what are mRNA stop codons? What are the 3 codons which are mRNA stop codons? Our online community is going to shoot the answers. Yes, doctor. You see, actually it is very barbaric habit of having 300-400 students, and one teacher comes and he will do his job, students are in their own job without any interaction. The job of the teacher is to finish, to vomit the subject. The job of the students is to desperately sit and because we feel insecure outside world, so we want to sit in a community and pray God so that some priest is there to deliver lecture, but we don't give you that chance. You need to participate, answer questions, shoot your answers. We want to see how well you are. That's good. All our online students are punching answers like anything. UAA, UAG, UGA, we get the answer from Guntur, Dr. Sudha, Anantapur and Warangal, everywhere. That's good. It's like a girlfriend shouting at a dishonest boyfriend. You go away, you are away, and you are gone out of my life. So UGA, UAA, UAG will stop the further SMSs and sweet exchanges anymore, is the stop codon. Creatinine clearance, it won't underestimate. It will overestimate the GFR. What is the reason, doctor? It overestimates GFR by about 15 to 20%, because the GFR will decrease with the age, but the plasma creatinine remains the same in spite of the person's aging. That's the reason if you look at the creatinine clearance as a marker of GFR, it will try to overestimate the GFR of a person, because as the person advances in his age, GFR decreases. But plasma creatinine, what is meant by plasma? Creatinine clearance, the amount of the creatinine in the plasma which is filtered and how much of it is entering into the urine every minute is the clearance. So it becomes overestimated if you want to depend on creatinine clearance for the assessment of GFR, is what need to be remembered. If the afferent arteriole constricts, it will cause all the three to fall down: glomerular capillary pressure, peritubular capillary pressure, and nephron plasma flow. All the three will fall down, is what need to be basically remembered. Now in the proximal tubule, is there any amino acid reabsorbed? If so, how much percentage of amino acid is reabsorbed is the important question. 100% of the glucose and amino acid is reabsorbed. Amino acid comes from protein, doctor. 1 kilo chicken is very costly. After eating all that chicken, you are building protein in the body. You think that you will let all that lost into urine simply like that? No. So glucose and amino acid, whatever that is filtered is totally reabsorbed, is what you are going to ultimately, that's good. Today our students from Guntur are very active, ready to answer any question may come. So doctor, initial denial must be, you must overcome by now. It's like we thought it as February, we thought it as March, it became November only. Okay, so if it is November or it is January, really doesn't matter. If you are going to be topper, you are going to be topper, be very sure. Only thing is, you thought of relaxing 2 more months and then start preparation for March. You are asked to start preparation now and relax after November. So that's the reason, no big hush-bush about it. Now coming to the loop of Henle, there's an ascending limb, there's a descending limb. So please remember, doctor, descending limb is water permeable and it leads to increasing osmolarity of the tubular fluid because the water is reabsorbed. Whereas ascending limb is impermeable to water and that will decrease the tubular fluid osmolarity, and the ascending limb is also called as the diluting segment, because since the water can't leave the tubular fluid, it remains in the tubule, and but the salts are reabsorbed, and that is the reason what will happen to the osmolarity of the fluid inside the tubule, it becomes hypotonic. Hence it is called diluting segment of the nephron, is what need to be remembered. Furosemide basically acts at the level of loop of Henle. Which diuretic acts at the level of the DCT, doctor? Distal convoluted tubule. It is the thiazides which act at the level of the distal convoluted tubule, is what need to be fundamentally remembered. Now I am expecting an answer from you. Which type of collagen is defective in Ehlers-Danlos? Who is going to give me the very good? Our online student Nishant is first to answer by saying type 4, and our Guntur students are saying type 1, Warangal said 7, There is a type 7 also? Maybe. Yes? Come on doctor, wake up and answer. Still I did not open up the answer. That means it is neither type 1 or 4. There must be something else. Oh. We get an answer, a wide group of answers. Type 1 is there in the bone, osteogenesis imperfecta. Type 2 is in cartilage, and type 3 is typically present in the uterus, blood vessels, fetal tissue, granulation tissue and skin. Hence type 3 is Ehlers-Danlos. Type 4 is basement membrane, and that is the reason it is involved in the Alport syndrome as given by our Varangal students, changing their answer it to be 3. That's good at least. To change ourselves is called as evolution of the human species. That is important. Now doctor, sodium chloride excretion by the nephron is decided by what important factors? Renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system, you all know. If the renin is stimulated, angiotensin is formed which stimulates aldosterone, which will lead to retention of sodium and loss of K plus H plus into urine. Now, what stimulates the renin? Obviously, if the body doesn't have sodium, it stimulates renin. So, decreased sodium chloride delivery to the macula densa in the thick ascending limb of loop of Henle is the one which stimulates the release of the renin, is what need to be basically remembered. It is a duodenum where the absorption of the iron typically happens. Very favorite question of the examiner. Now, if there is a fat in the duodenum, it will stimulate the inhibitory neurohormonal reflexes and typically cause a cholecystokinase feedback mechanism which lead to the reduced motility of the stomach. So this is how basically a enteron, intestine, will tell the stomach, gastro, that you further don't dump things into me. I am already fully loaded with the fat content. Now I have some job to do of digesting it. So please don't dump further into me, is what duodenum will request to the stomach, and stomach's motility will come down. If there is a fat content inside the duodenum, is what need to be fundamentally remembered.